Anyhow, let's talk about basketball a little bit. We got a couple of
Yes,
things here. We can kind of tie together. You watching the NBA playoffs at all?
I have been. This is sort of my nightly, everything's done. I sort of take a 2 hour basketball break before I get to writing or doing some things that we got to do for this. So yeah, I've been actually keeping up quite well with the playoffs this year.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just kind of started getting into it last week. The NBA playoffs are so long.
I
I've
know.
I've been like this forever, where for a long time my habit was I'd start paying attention to basketball with March Madness, and then I'd watch the NBA playoffs.
Yep.
Um, and I started later this year. I don't know. I just wasn't grabbing my attention sufficiently, or like I didn't want to somehow trick myself into thinking the Cavs had a chance. So I just, just kept ignoring it. But then what was it last weekend? There were two game sevens on the same day.
Yes.
I was like, all right, start watching basketball.
Let's go.
So
Yeah.
I watched both those game sevens, and then I've watched some in the coming weeks, and so I'm all excited about the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, I absolutely want them to want them to win. That's a great team. They've got some interesting personalities. There is a sort of showdown looming. Everyone thinks the Celtics are going to make the finals. That's the the odds-on betting favorite of what's going to happen. So it's been good. It's been good drama, good series, good games that have there've been some real I think duds in there, but so far we have seen, particularly in the Western Conference and in the Knicks two series, just phenomenal games.
Yeah, there's been some good stuff. And we talked about winning time that last summer,
Yeah.
revisiting the history of the podcast and the evil Celtics. And it's like I do always have that. So it's like I guess I'm
Yeah.
rooting for the Pacers. Anyway, let's
The-
talk about the TNT deal, right? Because
yeah, there is
the
some basketball TV news along with this.
the TNT's deal to carry the NBA is in jeopardy. Does it say?
I would
Nothing's
say
been
it's
decided quite.
absolutely is in jeopardy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's been decided definitively as of yet, but the rumors are they're going to lose it.
Yes.
And there
So
are rumors
right
that
now, NBA is not assigned. They have contracts with ESPN, ABC, Warner Brothers, which covers TNT, and I think that's about it right now. And so those rights are up at the end of next season. So they've been shopping their services, and the prevailing thought is that ESPN, ABC, and NBC is going to get back on. You remember old NBA on NBC with Marv Albert and Matt Gukas and Bill Walton, all those
was
guys,
John
right?
Tesh involved somehow.
Yeah,
Was
he
John
wrote the
Tesh?
theme. Yes,
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yes, the basketball rock. Yeah.
Yeah, John.
Um, so NBC is going to get back in the mix, and then Amazon might as well. But NBA has not shown very much interest in Warner Brothers being part of that package. Maybe because of some things that David Zaslav has said in the past, but they're going to lose a real significant piece of something that draws fans into the NBA if this Charles Barkley inside the NBA
Yeah,
show is on.
and that's kind of the real story here. I
Yeah.
mean, in terms of where you turn the game on, it's kind of whatever. If it goes to Amazon Prime, then that will be that kind of deal where people will be upset because it's on the streaming service. But the Inside the NBA show, if people listening aren't aware of this, has won Emmys. In fact, I feel like it wins the Emmy in its category every year.
It just won this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
sports Emmy, and so on. Because you've got just this panel of analysts, I guess you'd say,
Yeah.
commentators, whatever, and the chemistry between um, Chuck and Ernie and what's the other guy's name? Why am I blanking on
Shaq is
Kenny?
on there and Kenny
Shaq's
Smith.
on there. Yeah. And so I mean, like, this is the thing. I've seen various things of people worried about. Rich Eisen has done segments on his show where the group are talking about this more than one. And
Hmm.
um, is there any possibility that they could take the Inside the NBA crew somewhere else and so on? And Rich Eisen keeps saying he doesn't think so because that's not how things work. People want to bring in their own places, and you kind of know. But Charles Barkley apparently wants to say, "Hey, no, I'll do it." Right,
Yeah.
like my production company will bring everyone on board to keep this going. I don't know if there's any chance that's going to happen, but as you already noted, this would be after next season.
Yeah, after next season. Now, obviously, the tie into this is Warner Brothers TNT has the rights to the game, so their show analysis just flows through the game. Charles Barkley's production company is not going to have rights to NBA games, so how they would be able to make that work, other than just
It,
like an online show, I'm not sure what they would be able to do there.
yeah, I mean, it could be could be like an online show, but I doubt that's what he has in mind.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
more
think
that
so.
like if he could get the crew over right to inside the NBA and keep that crew intact, then his production company, the next move would be to try to license inside the NBA to one of the places where basketball has gone.
Yes,
I think that would be the structure of it, which if it were Amazon, that might have a chance of working. You
absolutely.
know, if it's NBC, I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, ESPN sort of got their incumbent uh, studio hosts and analysts and things that they use. I don't know that a network, pure network like NBC is going to be able to do what TNT did with these guys. So yeah, it'd have to be one of those streamers to do it a game a week or something like
I
that.
mean,
I
I
don't know
just
who
think,
owns the rights to Inside the NBA, sort of that trademark.
oh, I'm sure that that's TNT, but I mean, like maybe there's some way you can make it work. But if it's going to NBC, NBC is going to say, we've got sports people, we've got
Exactly.
NBC Sports. We're going to have our own sports people doing the stuff around the basketball game. That's part of what we want. So I don't think that would happen. But with Amazon Prime, if it happened to go to Prime Video, that they are already facing that kind of void, or they'd be looking for people. They've already done things like with NFL football. They just brought Al Michaels over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could maybe see it there. Odds are, like if I were placing a bet, parlay bet, the TNT is going to lose basketball, and instant the NBA is going to be over.
I think I
That
think I
seems
think
like the
that's
likelihood
yeah.
likely
I think
situation,
that's right. It'll be a
which is a
shame.
bummer.
It's just such a fantastic show and original, funny. Can't find it anywhere else content, but I think that your prediction is probably right.
It is again. Apologies to anyone listening who like doesn't care about basketball, but also just to like put the proper weight on this. We were talking about watching the NBA playoffs. The Eastern Conference Finals are on ESPN, right? The Western Conference Finals are on TNT.
Mhm.
When it's a night for the Western Conference game, I'll turn on TNT like an hour before the game and watch Inside the NBA. When
Exactly.
it's the Eastern Conference game, I'll turn it on for tip off.
Exactly.
Like I don't,
Yeah.
I don't watch any of the pregame stuff. It's just there's
Yeah.
that much of a difference in quality.
You're 100% right. 100% right. Yeah. But anyway, so we might have just have one more year. We'll see what happens in the coming months.